B, selling naming rights to its rockets and spacecraft? Or C, co-sponsoring a boxing match in the International Space Station?
I feel like, no way it can be A. I don't think Nike would be on board with that.
Okay,
so it's either B or C. And I say probably B, because I feel like a boxing match in the International Space Station is not that easy to do.
It is B, you're correct. Though, just to clarify, apparently a NASA economic advisor did in the past suggest the idea in C. He called it the brawl and free fall. All right, Poppy. After President Trump accidentally misstated Apple CEO Tim Cook's name at a press conference in March, Tim Cook got in on the joke by changing his Twitter name to which of the following? Was it A, Tim Schiff, B, Kim Took, or C, Tim Apple?
I think it was Tim Apple, C.
It was Tim Apple, yes. So it seemed that this is how President Trump misstated his name. He said Tim Apple, though he later defended his mistake, first by saying he just quickly said Tim Cook Apple, and that you couldn't hear the Cook part. But then he later admitted he actually did say Tim Apple because he needed to save time and words. Because as we all know, with the president keeping himself so busy with executive time, every second counts. Arnaldo. At this year's Munich Security Conference, a major event attended by many international decision-makers, one attendee tried to make a very unwieldy term go viral by stating, we need a, wait for it, hashtag Weltpolitik für Heilkeitsverlustvermeidungsstrategie. Been practicing that. I just wanted to savor that I didn't mess that up. Is it A, strategy to prevent the loss of the capability to shape world affairs? B, a strategic vision for a post-Trump political world? Or C, a world brought together by playing the children's game Stratego? You want me to repeat? Oh, so just in case you didn't get it. It was hashtag Weltpolitik für Heilkeitsverlustvermeidungsstrategie.
I would say B.
It's actually A. Yes.
Damn it.
So this phrase was stated by the Munich Security Conference chairman, German Ambassador Wolfgang Eisinger. All right, next we'll move on to a special government-themed Two Lies and a Truth segment. So each panelist has a story with them, and they'll read this interesting story out about a new government service or program, and you'll have to decide which one is the real story from the news. The other two will just be made-up stories. So to participate, we'll pick the next person from the top performers of our pre-show interactive quiz to be a part of this. So Izzy, who would that be?
So the second place finishers for our pre-quiz were the Jacobsons. So please come up.
Two brains are better than one.
Only one of us has a master's degree.
All right, are you ready to tell truth from fiction?
We'll find out.
All right, we'll start with Poppy's story.
Allegheny County, which contains Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, was once home to many steel mills and heavy industry. Although most have closed since the late 1970s, the region continues to earn low air quality grades from the EPA thanks to the plants remaining in operation. To address this problem, the Allegheny County Health Department recently teamed up with a group of civic hackers to create an app where local citizens can view daily pollution levels and report air quality complaints, such as the open burning of trash, it totally happens, foul odors, and smoke in their area. While the app has picked up traction, its heaviest users are not those that the creators intended. Since the app's data tags businesses that allow smoking indoors as locations of poor air quality, local hipsters have started using the app as a kind of Yelp for dive bars, even adding comments in the app about the drink specials and jukebox selection. What a headache, said co-creator David Hamilton. First, there was 100 foul odor reports filed at a local middle school, with the comment boxes all containing the single word poop. And now this. There really is something rotten in the state of Pennsylvania, and it's not just the pollution.
Thank you. Next up, we'll hear Arnaldo's story.
After the government shutdown left national parks with overflowing latrines and piles of garbage, the U.S. National Park Service, or NPS, is determined to be prepared for the next shutdown to come. But since Congress won't allocate emergency funds, some NPS employees have taken matters into their own hands by starting a fundraiser. For just $19.99, you can order your own National Park Service board game called Interior Secretary for the Day. It's like Monopoly, but in reverse, said MPS employee Gary Borchardt. Instead of buying property, you sell national park land so your friends and political contributors get richer. And the chance and community chest cards lets you use government resources for personal use, like on vacation or for family members. Basically, all the things we've seen our recent Interior Secretary do lately. While this topical but controversial game has been selling well so far, his fight against the clock before the White House finds a way to put a stop to the sale of the embarrassing game.
Thank you. And finally, Elaine, your story.
All right. Russia's beleaguered postal service has found a new and interesting way to boost sales by selling beer. Yes, now Russians can crack open a brewski while buying their stamps or shipping a Russian doll set packed within a box within a box within a... You get the picture. But before you plan on a post office crawl on your next trip to Moscow, the service is unfortunately only being provided in rural post offices. While the decision has been met with ridicule and mockery by many locals, Russian Post Press Secretary Daniil Skidan defended the new service as not only a great way to keep the rural branches open, but also a way to keep locals safe from poisoning themselves with low-quality bootleg alcohol. So here's the beer from Russian Post with love.
Okay, so which one is the true story? Is it Poppy's story of Pittsburgh area hipsters and middle schoolers abusing a new air pollution tracker? Arnaldo's tale of a controversial National Park Service board game to raise money for the next shutdown? Or Elaine's story of the Russian Post selling beer to keep rural post offices open?
All right, so I think it's the Park Service story.
Actually, it was the Russian post office story. But we're very generous here, and we still want you to come away with something. So again, you'll get some, Harris swag. But then, in addition, we got you a Russian doll set. So here you go.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks for playing. This is your host again, Jason, with a reminder that I'll be hosting my last live episode of Have You Heard? The UC3P News Quiz on Tuesday, May 28th from 12:30 to 1:30 in Keller 0001, which may sound even more secretive than 007, but it's just next to the main Keller Forum, so come for your last chance to watch us in action. Now, back to me. All right, so panelists, we current students are curious to hear, what were your favorite memories from your time as students at Harris? Was it a favorite class, an activity you participated in, student-organized trip?
Well, I don't know if this is a very good memory, but some of my classmates remember. So we were taking one of our stats class, and Professor Shelley Clark was teaching the class, and she was going on her third board explaining a theorem, and we were all kind of frustrated because she was on her third board with the equation. I was like, when is this thing going to end? And everyone was sort of frustrating, and then I have the tenacity to ask a question, and I go and answer to the hand, and I say, I have a question, so as a policy analyst, do we really need to know this? And obviously not a good idea. But then she answered back, like, if you want to be a competent policy analyst.
Oh.
So that was, I don't know if that's a happy story.
A memorable story.
But it's just first thing that came up.
What about you, Poppy? Do you have any?
I loved my time here, and I love the friendships and relationships that I made with both staff, faculty, and students. It was an amazing time. I'm trying to remember the one sandwich I really loved at Z&H. I can't recall exactly what it was. But I loved coming down here every day. It was great. But nothing specific or as funny as that. Sorry.
All right. Well, we all love to hear great stories about Harris. But this next trivia round will quiz you on some more questionable school experiences in the news. Poppy, why don't we start with you? So, a school resource officer in Ohio made the news in the fall after she woke up a sleeping student using which of the following methods? Did she A, put the student's hand in warm water, B, turn on her taser to let the sparks wake him, or C, play chop suey by System of a Down over the intercom?
All of these are terrible. All of them. I'm going to go with A, putting the student's hand in warm water, because that sounds completely juvenile.
That is always a good prank, but it's actually B. It was turning on her taser. Yeah. After learning about the incident, the school placed her on administrative leave, which I think seems justified, though she claims she was never going to actually tase the student. She was just using the sparks to wake him up. Elaine, a professor in China recently gave his students which of the following unorthodox assignments? Did he ask them to A, memorize 1,000 digits of pi, B, find him the best deal on a $1,000 laptop on Alibaba's Taobao marketplace, or C, add over 1,000 friends on WeChat?
So as someone who does identify as Chinese and I love finding deals, I'm inclined to go with B.
It's actually C.
Oh.
Yeah. Specifically, they needed to add 1,667 friends on WeChat, China's most popular social network, in order to get an A+. The professor defended the assignment since it was for an online and new media course, and he also felt the task prepared them well for real life. Arnaldo. In Burundi, 3 schoolgirls were detained for 2 weeks after doing which of the following? Was it A, organizing a flash mob during an assembly, B, doodling on the president's picture in their textbooks, or C, selling the school supplies on the internet?
I would say B.
It is B, that's right. Yeah. And what appears to have helped free them was actually an online social media campaign around the hashtag #FreeOurGirls, but more importantly, people posted pictures of the president with clown wigs, squiggly mustaches, and other great doodles as part of this campaign. So as Harris grads, I'm sure you all must be policy nerds like us, following the latest trends in the 2020 election, in Brexit, U.S. trade talks. But this next round will test how well you know some more entertaining policy news stories. We'll start first with the U.S. So Arnaldo. Kentucky's legislature put forth a bill this year to fix issues with the certification process for welders after industry advocates showed that they were able to get members of which of the following groups certified? Was it A, violent criminals, B, dogs and cats, or C, fictional characters?
It's Kentucky, so I would say A.
No, it actually was B, dogs and cats. Yeah, for example, a beagle named Robert Dash was certified, since although you're supposed to demonstrate your skill and show a photo ID, anybody can bring a welded plate with them and just give anyone's name, including a dog's name. So hopefully this law will pass, so at least, at the very least there will be welding jobs for those who actually have opposable thumbs. All right, Poppy. At the National Republican Congressional Committee's annual spring dinner last month, President Trump discussed, among other topics, renewable energy, stating which of the following about wind turbines? Was it that A, their noise causes cancer, B, they're killing American bald eagles, or C, they're too ugly to be worthwhile?
Well, we know he cares deeply about aesthetics from the Trump Tower. It's so tasteful in downtown Chicago. So I'm going to go with C.
Yeah, see, I tried to channel my inner Donald Trump in coming up with that, but that's actually not the real one, though I could see him saying it. It was actually A, that he said their noise causes cancer. He also referred to them repeatedly as windmills instead of wind turbines, which, of course, are historically used to grind grain or pump water, not produce energy like wind turbines do. And Elaine, the U.S. recently told the Chinese... you keep getting all the Chinese questions, not on purpose. All right. The U.S. recently told a Chinese company that its ownership of which popular American app was deemed a national security risk, forcing the company to sell it. Was it A, the gaming app Fortnite, B, the viral trivia app HQ Trivia, or C, the gay dating app Grindr?
Oh, man. I feel like I've only heard of one of these.
Which one?
Me to know. You guys to find out. I think I'll have to guess it's a national security risk for the Chinese. Probably Grindr.
That's right. Yeah. While the Committee on Foreign Investment in the U.S., CFIUS, the body responsible for making this decision, doesn't really explain its decisions, most experts believe the concern was over the Chinese company having access to Americans' personal information that could be used to compromise them if they were, for instance, a government or military official. But so it's not only in the U.S. that has had weird policy news stories lately. Now we'll cover some international stories. Elaine, let's go back to you.
All right.
This January, the UAE held an awards ceremony to recognize its government agencies' efforts to support gender equality in the workplace. What caused it to become a target of ridicule? Was it A, the top award went to the ruler of Dubai's mother? B, all the award winners were men? Or C, half the awards weren't given out due to a lack of progress?
I feel like all of these are quite likely, but I have to go with B.